Yep. Well, danger Darkworth. Oh wow, that's interesting. Let's go you. You. See how quick that was? Sylvia was gonna nag toward their hand. Oh man. And you do want to make sure for this event you really want to make sure that you have a lot of back row outs as well as monster outs, because kaijus are annoying. But this deck doesn't mind getting kaiju'd. The reason why I didn't implement the kaiju thing in most other decks is because those players are 2-for-1 players. You're going to give up 2 cards to out 1 card on your opponent's side just to gain an advantage. And if your opponent's playing torrential, when they clear the field, you lose all of your advantage. So you do not, and I repeated this from, I mentioned when I gave you guys the deck list for multiple decks, that you do not, in this format, you do not want to go 2-for-1 with your opponent. That makes no sense. You're always going to lose in the long term, because the length of the duels are going to go multiple turns. The longer the duel goes, the greater the chances of you losing, it increases, and that's what you don't want. Wow, this guy has horrible luck. He goes Thunderbird, and then goes Ogopogo. Don't stop. See, and this is where when you play dangers, this is where it actually hurts, because when they start going off on their own self, like you go nag one in the process every time, so you basically almost lose your advantage entirely, and that's what you really don't want. Ooh, I actually need to add a beast in here. That could actually work. I forgot about that. Oh, that sucks. At this rate, he's literally gonna play himself straight out of the duel. Yeah, little while. I assume he wants to get OTK'd. I would have personally left the monster bodies on board, but hey, to each his own. Wow, I'm not sure if that was really worth it, but alright, my turn. Yep. Draw 3, discard 2. Mothman. Danger Dark Whip. Draw 1. I actually need to add a beast in here. Chupacabra. Wow. Oh, seems like a mirror match. Ah, dang, I was hoping he didn't pick that up. Shut all these. 2 these. If I take out all mine, I want to play 2. Scratch all mine. this one isn't bad. Cut 2, we shall cut. This wasn't bad. It's be iffy sometimes. And just use those two ways, because once this effect resolves, he would get to pop 2. So we'll cut these 2 and just use Serial to match up with these 2. Set cards, response team, treasure. Alright. I actually want to change the thing now. Hey, what you say, Shimmy? Oh no, you can't even change it from there. What board? Wow. Let's do this first. What the hell was that? Curse of Anubis? Let's just go nail this one here. I must need to go back and look at the board you're talking about. Discard one from my hand. Let's go Chupacabra. Oh wow, that's what he's playing, Chupacabra. 1,000. Alright, that should be good enough. Set that. That. Was that one of your replays? There's the Leotron. Opponent can normal monster, the equipped monster attacks the defense position monster. When the equipped monster can switch fire down to special summon. Ew. Oh. You're doing too much. this. You and you. So that's what I came out with. Alright. This. Hey. Hi. Wow. But it had my name still came from the bar first? Wow. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I know. I trying to figure out because according to everybody here, they say he ain't no one been in here. And why? And from where? I ain't sure. I don't know what it is. His account, it wasn't no account on the, at least, what you mean? Because when I turn it on, it's saying. I don't know who that is. Alright. Alright. I don't know who that white character is. I must have got it. Yeah. Yeah, after the duel AF feed, no problem. Sorry about that. I was on the call. Not really. Depending on how they summon Ultimate Falcon, it's still gonna be a nightmare matchup. Because they're just like out for that specific turn, that's it. Alright. Wow. Really good knocks for much more. What's in here? That's all we popping in here. Do this. Oh wow, lovely. Yeah, Parallel Exceed. I think if you have a Link monster or something like that, special summons itself and then special summons another copy itself from the deck. This. Back to the hand. Yeah, I know he can make rank 4s. He drops his level from 8 to 4. Alright, that should be Duel. That's what I told you guys. It's for this format is really gonna be outplaying your opponent. That's all it is. Timing your cards right and try not to leave yourself open. Extra deck. Hold on. Turn. When you get up, just to show you guys the rewards list, which kind of sucks when you make it to radio. When you make it after about to 1100, these legacy pack tickets, like we want gems, not tickets. I felt that they really ripped us off. Like, give us 500 or 1,000 gems or something like that. Like these, like no. Right here. You could actually play Raid Raptors in this format, but you'd only have the use of the Rise, Falcon, Blaze, and Revolution. But with the single card oats, it wouldn't make no sense going 2 and 3 and for one monster and then like not really being able to get much out of them. That's why I say any 2-for-1 strategy you want to avoid, like going Kaiju and then Compulse. You're playing 2 cards to out one of your opponent's cards. That's too much with how slow the format is. Or go in Kaiju, own a seal. You're playing 2 cards just to get back your Kaiju, and then your opponent has a 1 card out to it. You're going too much for so little. You always want to stay on the either you break even or you go +1. Either you trade 1 for 1 or you go up +1 or more. That's what you always want. That's always key in Yu-Gi-Oh! When you talk about dueling to take advantage. I don't know how good metaphors are, but like I said, with how much slower the actual gameplay is, you're gonna run into a lot of torrential tributes. You're gonna run into, at least I'm playing Dogmatica Punishment, you're gonna run into some punishment, and you're gonna run into other spell and trap card oats that are gonna be popping monsters, popping spell and traps. So if they slow you down, or they just wait for you to make your big play and then they just like pop your monster and you went 2 or 3 for 1, you're always going to be behind. In my extra deck, I'm playing the Fossil Machine, Skull Wagon. I'm playing 3 of those simply because you're gonna have a lot of monsters in this format that do have 1700 or less attack. So being able to send this off to punishment and then you get to pop a spell or trap, you don't always have to rely on Thunderbird or having to draw into your Dark World Lightning to pop something in the back row. So Skull Wagon, I play 3 of those, so I can get utility out of that. Then I play the Dragon Master Knight just in case they can summon a really big beat stick. I can just send it off the punishment to pop it. Then I play 1 copy of Nightmare. So if I do have 2 level 4s and I know my opponent's playing something that can special summon, I can just turn it face down. 1 Propel Operative. So if my opponent does set a monster in defense position like a Marshmallow and it can't be destroyed by battle, I can use her effect to turn it into attack position and reduce its attack by 600, and I can just multi-attack it to kill my opponent. Same thing with Black Ship of Corn. If my opponent puts down a monster that cannot be destroyed by battle, usually their attack are like really low, so it isn't nothing high. So you run into it, you use Ship of Corn's effect, so you can send it to the graveyard and inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent. Because usually it's not going to have 2100 or more attack if it can't be destroyed by battle. You don't really see that. Especially in this format with normal and rare cards. Then the Heartland Draco. This is so when I have the Guarded Treasure face up on board, you can't declare an attack against him, as well as he could attack directly. Then the Gagaga Samurai, this is just to help you kill your opponent quicker, just to inflict 3,800 points of damage when you attack twice. The Malevolent Sins, number 70, this is to out any big monster body on your opponent's board, just banish it and then you could direct attack for 2,400. That's how I actually won my first duel. Then the Volcarosaurus, this is just for burn damage, pop one of my opponent's monsters and burn them for it. Then the Extra Side, this is just so I could target 1 monster my opponent controls on their graveyard and increases attack by, so I could get a bigger beat stick. The Shark Fortress, basically the same as Gagaga Samurai, just to get 2 attacks out of the monster. Coach King Giant Trainer, because he can be made, and this would allow me to go +3 in the same turn. So what happens is I overlay 3 level 8s to make him, and then I go +3 with his effect, and for every monster that is turned over, my opponent loses 800 points takes 800 points of damage. So I would turn 3 level 8s into a 2800 beat up, plus replace those 3 level 8s with 3 cards in my hand, while in the process potentially inflicting 800 points of damage per card. And then the Dragloot, because it's a 3k beater, that's it in the extra deck. No, I'm not using Shadow. The beast in there, so if it gets discarded, I can go +1 again. Remember, you always want the ability to go +1. Whether you go in breaking even, send a card to add a card, or send a card to draw 2 or more cards, you always want to either break even or go +1. That is what you want. That's why he's in there. So whenever like Mothman's effect goes off, or my opponent plays a Mothman's effect, instead of me going breaking even, I can then go +1 in that situation. That's the whole key thing. The format is that slow that you want those effects to help you stay in the duel in terms of your resource wise. You always want to make sure that you are up in the duel in terms of having more cards that are live and playable than anything else. Oh, your Senjus look like they're going to be a problem. I was actually thinking about your Senjus. once those cards are playable, because I've proven you can have half your deck in your hand, and if your opponent can stun the whole thing, then it's utterly useless. So they have to be playable at that. Oh wow, what is this we're going through? Boy, that's a gamble. Let's start off with Chupacabra. Okay. Let's go Beast. This is why Beast is in there, so it's an optional target, so you can just go +1 again. Let's go Thunderbird. Draw 1. Monster's effect should go off. Ay. Let's do this. There's the kaijus that are useless while your opponent's going off. I like the looks of that. What we have here, we have that. Let's go and activate the charge into the Dark World. Then we can bring back the Chupacabra. Sylvia's effect goes off. We get him back. And then, wow. Alright, let's do this. And this is why I said why the spider is actually important. Well, actually, no, we don't even need to do that. We can make the Gagaga Samurai. Use its effect. Send Mothman back to the grave. Let's do this. Pogo gets stitched. Then we can send that dangerous response team to the graveyard. Shimmy, stop that. See, now you cost me draw my Dogmatica punishment. Stop that. You're gonna cost my opponent think I'm cheating. Alright, let's send the response team. Alright, that should be duel. And this is why I don't really like playing kaijus. Useless. Always prefer the Nibiru. Always. If my opponent had Nibiru, my board would have been gone. That's why I say you always want the cards that can actually interact during your opponent's turn and not just your turn. Yeah, that's all it is. And like I said, with the utility that you get from discarding cards from them and then going +1 again and again and again, if I hit Sylvia's effect, then my opponent goes -2, which really puts me in the driver's seat. So I get a 2300 beta on board on -2 to my opponent. Like, I don't see why not. The only thing I can think of that would probably be as good as this deck would either be Time Lords or it's another deck. It's right there. If I was to go to the list that I made, it'd be right there. But Time Lords, this, and one other deck. I don't have it on the top of my head, but I know I already made it. But the Pauper was banned, so depending on which deck you're playing, you're gonna have to replace it with. I will show you guys the alternate options you have to actually the Heralds. Yes, playing it with the Heralds to get those negates. To actually show you what you can replace those draw cards with, because I hadn't the ban list wasn't out when I was making it, so I didn't know that they would have banned Pauper. But I'll show you guys some of the cards you can rotate it with, and depending on what kind of strategy you're using, which cards you should implement so that you can get the most out of that deck for its draw potential. Alright, let's set that. Oh man, what a hand. Let's set this, and then we're gonna start off with Danger Dog Man. Wow, look when they want to send Chupacabra with nothing in the graveyard. Oh wow. Well, easy wins. Don't worry guys, for every event that they bring out, once I'm notified, like even if you guys aren't sure, the moment you have an event, message me, let me know. What I will be doing is start prepping decks for you guys to use, so you guys can have a variety of options to be able to play these events and get easy wins and just rack up your points, get all the way to the whatever the end goal is, and be able to earn more cards so you can actually make the decks that you want to play. So I don't know what they're doing on the other channels, so whatever they got going on. I've come across some crazy because you know, like I have uploaded so many Raid Raptor videos, they actually suggest other people's videos. And I watched this video for Raid Raptors and I was highly disappointed. Like I really was. It sickened me to my stomach to see a Raid Raptor play the way that guy played. But you know, to each his own. The bookmark cards. Alternate options that you guys can use. You guys can also look into playing Quillies. They aren't bad, and they are unaffected by monsters whose original level is lower than theirs. So if you can get them on board and then use like the Forbidden Chalice to negate their effects, then you know you bomb them right back up to that 2400 state. Cosmos may not be bad in this format either. I haven't actually had the chance to see how or which all Cosmos are actually playable, but it can be a thing. Like I said, you can use like Fire Furnace to use as a beat, and if you get popped, you can destroy a face-up monster and inflict 500, which isn't bad. Same thing with Breaker, being able to outspell and trap card destruction, and a 1600 beater. The Armored Bee, because it can just cut your opponent's attack in half. The Bull Blader, because it can what's it does again? Oh, it can destroy the opponent's monster after the damage calculation. So if they have like a monster that can't be destroyed by battle, you can just use this effect to destroy it. DD Warrior Lady isn't bad because once it's engaged in battle, it can banish that monster. Then like I said, your Senjus can be a thing. Right Hand Shark can get you easy rank 4 exceeds. DD Warrior, same thing as Lady, you know, tap an opponent's monster, you know, banish it. Nudoria, this was one of my cards back when Yu-Gi-Oh first came out. Like it was just at level 4, 1200, you'd be like, alright, I want to go offensive with it when the field's open. Then when it gets, that's why I have it here, it gets destroyed, you can then pop the monster that destroyed it, or if your opponent multi-summon, you can just destroy the strongest one or the one that hadn't attacked yet, so that you won't take massive damage. The Mech Armory, because it looks like it can get you 2 Mech Armory monsters from your deck, so that's 2 for 1, and that's what you want to go. You want to go 2 for 1 when that 2, when you're 1 getting, it's going to get you 2. So you want to go 2 for 1 when 1 card is going to get you 2. You don't want to go 2 cards to out one of your opponent's cards. It's bad Yu-Gi-Oh! Hands down, it is bad Yu-Gi-Oh! Backup Squad. This is one of the draw cards that you can use. For every 1000 points of damage you take, you can draw a card. So if your opponent inflicts, you know, like how I was doing with my opponent just now, but you still have to survive. my opponent would have probably drawn at least 7 cards, because you know he won't get to the 8th card because he dies. But you can draw a total of about 7 cards in a single turn, depending on how much damage your opponent inflicts to you. Another good draw card is Hand Destruction. Usually, like I said, in this format, it's just going to be like you summon one, or you special summon 1 or 2, and then you set 2 in the back row or 3 in the back row, and that basically ends turn. You're going to see a lot of plays like that, unless it's like Danger Dark World that can, you know, special summon out a lot of monsters. Even if they play in your Senjus, unless they exceed with them or link with them, they're going to go back to the hand, and usually that's what the player is going to want. They're going to want to summon out their Senjus, multi-attack with them, gain their advantage, put them back in the hand so that you don't board wipe. Or if you do try to board wipe like all monsters, it's going to be irrelevant because they're in their hand. So making sure you have Hand Destruction, it's going to be live. Magical Mallet is another option pending on what you're playing, just to reshuffle, get a better hand. Magic Planter, if you're playing like continuous trap cards, you can just send it if it stays face up, because in the Time Lord deck I was originally using Magic Planter with the Limit Reverse. What happens is Limit Reverse only leaves the field if the monster is destroyed, but if it's shuffled back in the deck, the Limit Reverse stays face up on the field. So I had planned to combo the Magic Planter with it so I could send it to the graveyard, draw 2. But then I was like, well, alright, if I Limit Reverse and my opponent like chains MST or to pop it, my Magic Planter is gonna die. It isn't gonna be live, and I want to play as many live cards as possible. So I switched to the Oasis of Dragon Souls, so it's not gonna matter. Once the monster leaves the field, the Dragon Souls leave. So I switched to the Oasis so that I could use another utility card, which was Paupers, that I had changed the Magic Planter for. But now that I change now that Paupers is banned in the Time Lords, I would recommend that you use Hand Destruction, because the whole purpose why I was playing Paupers was so that I can send Time Lords from my hand to the graveyard to make the Empty Machine continuous trap live. It needed a Time Lord in graveyard, and you'd notice that Time Lords are hard to get in the graveyard unless you played like advanced draw, some kind of discard card, which Hand Destruction does. Send 2, draw 2. You put a Time Lord in graveyard, you make the trap live. That trap gets you the next, I think it's Infinite Machine, and then that goes into Infinite Light. So you can go straight into the final trap card for your Time Lords to get 2 or more Time Lords on board. But that's why I was playing Magic Planter. So if you're playing any trap-based variant deck where it's utilizing 3 or more continuous trap cards, you can look to implement the Magic Planter to increase your draw speed. If you're playing Waters, this is supposed to be a staple, so I really shouldn't have had to bookmark this. If you're playing Waters, you're always supposed to play Moral of Greed. Pot of Riches if you're playing a Pendulum-based deck. If you're playing a Wing Beast deck, the Wing Wreck, however you pronounce the card, you play this. And if you're playing like Black Wings, because you can't play Black Wings and get some really good results being able to cut your opponent's monster. At least I hadn't checked to see how many Black Wings were rare and normal, but if you're playing a Wing Beast type deck, because I know you can play Raptors, but you would only have access to the Rise Falcon, Blaze Falcon, and Revolution Falcon. And like I said, how this format is, you're gonna run into like Bottomless Compulse. This is hands down the traps you're gonna run into. Bottomless Compulsory, Torrential Tribute. You're gonna run into Dogmatica Punishment. You're gonna run into, what's the next trap? Floodgate Trap Hole. You're gonna run into a couple of decent trap holes, and they're gonna be cards that are covering numerous like Bottomless. If you Pendulum summon and they Bottomless you, all your Pendulums gone that are 1500 or more. Same thing with Torrential Tribute. You summon 2 or more monsters on that last summon. If they Torrential, you get board wiped. You do not want to be going 2 or more and your opponent plays 1 card and out it. You're automatically going to get outplayed. Keep it simple. Play 1 card. If your opponent doesn't have an out or response to it, keep punching your opponent in the face until they can't take no more. That's how simple Yu-Gi-Oh was back in the day. Same rules. If you're playing a non-effect based deck, like tangy or utilizing trap monsters that are considered normal monsters, you can play this just to get 2 every time your opponent summons special summons an effect monster. Heart of the Underdog, if you're playing normal monsters yet again, you draw and just keep drawing to get your utility out of your deck. Shard of Greed, this is like an easy Pot of Greed. You just have to wait 2 turns. If your opponent can't pop it, you go +2 and then reload. Similar to Magical Mallet, the only difference is you don't get to select your cards, so it's just like a reshuffle and then draw again and see if you get something better. But these are the optional draw cards that you can use based off of the decks that I have created, and any variant along those lines or anything that you would have created yourself, you would find any of these cards right here really useful as a draw engine or a replacement for the Perform Propal Pauper Upper. Let's get back to more duels. That's what I was explaining to you. The only deck, or the best deck that can really play hand traps, is any fairy based deck. Only fairy based decks, and they would have the best results in playing hand traps. So it's like you're free to go off as you play. But if you're playing those, they're going to be troublesome for your opponent. Oh no, I did download Connect 4 chess just to play in my spare time. I did download those, but I don't know who that white character is. Alright, let's see, 2 set face down, 2 monsters. Let's see how we could rectify the issue. What's this guy's problem? 2400 while your opponent has no monsters in their graveyard. You could target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. Quick effect. Wow, what a eagle. Alright, we're gonna have to rectify that problem. Set that. Now I don't know how many of the Aromage cards are actually normal or rare, but like I say, it just depends on how much of it is actually rare or not. Wow, you actually got punishment on that. and didn't I call that's one of the trap cards you are sure to run into? And there we go. Don't worry, it doesn't just stop there. That's okay, put it back in my deck. That's what we want. We know he can't use another Dogmatica punishment, so it's face down. Oh, there we go. Bottomless. I mean, it's actually irrelevant at this point. There we go. And Now that is interesting. If I do that, I don't think I would be able to. Let's check his effect. I want to see how much damage we could actually do. Oh, it's original attack. Okay, he's lucky, so I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna normal summon this. Then we're gonna make Spider. I lied. Let me see. Is that what I want to do? I only need a monster engrave, right? Yeah, we're gonna make Spider. There. Then we're gonna use its effect. Then we're gonna send you to grave. We're gonna punish you. Oh, okay. So we have to wait on that. Alright. Of course. Moving up in the world. Alright. Study sent to the grave. Oh, special summon the Tri Brigade. That's fine. I really wonder how much damage he's gonna take altogether. I know one thing, I didn't duck marks. What's that he dumped? Revolt. Sky Strikers. What the hell is this guy even playing? I mean, it's gonna be irrelevant in a moment, but that looks like that hurt. Danger zone, and then we're gonna send this. Oh, that was another Dogmatica punishment. I told you, in a moment that's going to be irrelevant. See, the thing is, because he's using the monster's effect to put a danger monster back in my deck, what he then does is increase my odds of picking up a danger card. That's why I know for a fact, hands down, that I'm going to pick up at least one danger card for it to go off, and then Duel's going to be irrelevant. But even though my opponent can hear me, I don't understand the level of stupidity. Like, I don't know if they're just not familiar with those 5 letters that says Dabna, but that guy is no joke. You see those 5 letters, he's not bluffing. I don't know what to call that, because he had Tri-Brigade, a Sky Striker, what else he had inside there? 1 Link 3, like, I don't know. I don't even know how that's supposed to work. And I actually don't mind going turn 2 with this deck, you know. I don't. Oh, there we go. Metaphors. Let's actually see what they can do. Like I said, I had no earthly idea what my opponent's playing. To me, that was regurgitated garbage. Like, it was just a bunch of cards to go fetch one, send another one. That did not make too much sense to me at all. Magispectors. Add 1 trap. Okay. Magispectors could be a thing. Alright, just let me know how much the charge will be for it. Cards face down. Let's see how we are going to get past this. Yeah, because you can't really pendulum summon as much as you would like to, how it was before. So yeah. Alright, that's it for me. And see, you have to know when to time your traps, because you don't want your opponent to be able to take advantage, like the literal moment you activated, the timing's off, and then you end up in a position you don't want to be in. Oh, I think they cannot. Let me make sure. Okay. Let's do. Ooh, ice. Okay, that wouldn't work. Alright, first things first. Ooh, I wonder if I should have waited. Is 15. Yeah, I should have. I'd have to end up playing potentially through 3 more of those. I should have waited and double up on the affair. Let's do some of this. Oh, that was their ogre card. Nasty. Let's do this. I mean, that isn't a new card. It's just an interruption card. It's a monster for sure. Wow. Check that. We say watch out. Activate this. Beast. Draw one. Oh. Let's go response team. Reactivate again. Wow. Draw. Second expedition is that. Alright. Pogo. Pogo effect. Let's send another expedition. This event has literally put Utopia under lock and key. Battle. Set. What it does in terms of restriction is fusion summon one Metaphors fusion monster from the extra deck. Wow. I wonder how powerful the fusions are. All it does is it leans back on your ability to adapt and then create a deck that can actually function and be effective in that format. That's basically what the events are. Banish a monster. Wow, 2,500. That's not gonna be easy to get over. Alright, now that is what we love to see. Our opponent setting back row. First, let's get rid of that back row. Two-leg play drop card. Oh. You said a spell? Let's draw one. Now, where do we go from here? That sucks. Okay, we can make that. No, that was a Para Metaphors Fusion. I can play that and I can do that. Or I can take the gamble on that. I don't want to take that right now. I really don't. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this card. And we're just gonna have to do the thing where we end up beating over right here. And reason number one why I said Spider is one of the best rank 4s you could play in this format. Hands down. It saves lives. Do this little number right here. We're gonna banish that. Send you. By the time this fusion comes back, it's going to be irrelevant. There we go. And I don't see why not. There we go. Any more back row to set? Set back row, please. Back row, set. One, please. Back row. MST should be rare. I know it in the rare normal category for sure. There we go, and this was actually the card I was hoping to acquire. I didn't want to call it out ahead of time. What do we have here? Oh yeah. Not yet. This is what we want to do first. No, he powered it up. He powered it up. Wow. Wow. Wowzers. Wow, amazing. Okay, yeah, we can do that. We're gonna pop the face down. This is why I wanted him to set a face down. I just wanted to pop it. Bye-bye. Here. You can summon this. Then we can set this. That's it for now. Not sure if you can run Final Destiny, because I think they would have taken out all the other win conditions, because Exodia isn't even allowed. So but I can check. I can. Alright, thanks, Jimmy. Hey, what do you say, King Joker? Or Final Destiny. Oh. Shimmy, check for Final Destiny. That one sound like a fusion card. Oh, that's why that name sounded so familiar. That was that ridiculous card where you had to pay too much for so little. I mean, if it's playable, Shimmy's gonna check, but that's a card I really wouldn't play. Why is this guy so semi-aggressive? Yeah, it really does sound like. Yes, yeah, Shane, you can run it. Alright, we need to bait out that trap first. Now that's interesting. Let's do this. Discard 5, draw 2. And then draw 2 every draw phase after that. Of course, reduce everything. Alright, let's see if we can get him to use that trap. No, he'll pendulum now one back. Ew, I thought that returned to the hand, it vanishes. Alright. Oh wow, that looks like Duel. I can see why they play metaphors though. Especially if they draw under the Magic Spectre, they can always get that +1 off the summon. And if you can't out the pendulum scale, that's where the issue comes in. So as long as you could keep the scale from being set between 8 and 1, it's not an issue against them. Unfortunately, we don't play MST in this deck, so... I actually want to try this deck out and see how it actually fares. Yes, copy. Alright, disband, and bookmark. What should we play instead of Paupers? Shard isn't bad. Let's go Shard. I just want to see how this deck actually plays. Yeah, where you been? You didn't know Dark Honest was a thing? Instead of going up, it reduces the opponent's monster's attack. Boy, that would be a nightmare. That's why they don't have it at a high rarity now. So that one in the back. Compulse, what I tell you, one of the trap cards I call that you would have to encounter. That's the only way to go plus. Of course. Oh wow, lovely. That is lovely. Yeah, I saw someone play the Gradle card. You can't play Gradle. Yeah, you can, but it's kind of risky. That worked out lovely. Alright, that ends my turn. Yeah, fire and ice on. I did mention those. Really effective. Oh, I guess the deck isn't that bad. It's actually kind of sensible if you could go stick and chair. Stick and chair, draw into one of your heralds and into your punishment. Like in this event, it's really going to be all about going second because it's so much slower. You do want to go second and not really go first. Wow, you see that? That's why you go second. Oh wow. Now this is going to be interesting. Okay, that's why. Oh, True Draco. With metaphors? Oh wow. Yeah, I even ran into a Nurse Burn deck. I mean, even though I outburned them. Set a scale. Alright, so Metaphors True Draco. You can see how far they get right now. That's that fusion card for them. Oh wow, that's petty. Now I have to go -1 on all of my special summons. Wow. 500 though. Wow. Wow, that is lovely. Like I told you, for those annoying floodgates, here, let's put a stop to that ASAP. No. Number 70, Malevolent Sin. Now this is where contemplation of a rich black man comes into play. It's like, should you not? Should you not? Should you not? Because I think they have one that goes... screw it. Let him go off. Alright, now the games begin. Yeah, a decent amount of the pendulum decks would actually be good in this format. Because it's like, once your scales are set, you are guaranteed at least one monster to be able to pendulum summon back. Nope, we don't want that. Yeah, but you have to make sure you can keep your scales intact. Like I said, you're going to run into a lot of destruction cards simply because of how much slower the format is. Your opponent's going to play more cards to try to more or less disrupt you or pop cards on your field. So keeping your scale intact is going to be the challenge there. Okay, we need to pop this. Draw a card, why not? If they didn't trust me, nightmare. It would have been a nightmare. First, you have to be able to acquire those cards in hand. That's why I say you have to ensure that you make decks where their consistency rate would actually be able to bring you back, especially late game. And pendulum decks can actually do that by at least being able to block so that you don't lose as fast and acquire some sort of card advantage in your hand as you survive every turn. Main phase 2. Let's put this into play, and then we're going to set this, and that'll be it for now. I'm sorry, wrong thing. What I went to see. Now, without a pendulum scale, you would have to set a new one. Hold on. What he's doing, draw one card, then place one card to the top. If this card is destroyed by battle, a card effect, special summon any number of... Ew. No, we do not want that to happen. Carry on. Trying to get extra. What rarity is Aroma Jar? The only way Aroma Jar could be crazy is if your opponent isn't playing the utility cards they should. I think even Hammer Shot, let me check, because cards like Hammer Shot, I think it's Physio and the Mother Spells that actually destroy. I'm checking right now. DSTROY. That actually can destroy cards on the field. See there, Physio, just pop a monster. Like these cards you actually should be playing in this format, because you can go one for one, which is not bad in this format. You should not be playing Mystic Boxes. You'd be giving control of a monster. That's a 2-for-1. That's the Final Destiny you were talking about earlier. That is giving up 5 cards. No. Same thing with Lightning Storm, and it only works on all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Lightning Vortex. Nah. So if your opponent's holding back, it's going to cost you go 2 for 1, just because your opponent has a really strong monster on board, and that's what you don't want. That's why Torrential is always going to beat it out in the long run. Smashing Ground, Shield Crush, see there, Hammer Shot. Well, not for Cyber Dragons, but you guys get the point. Oh, which reminds me, guys, if you guys haven't already, subscribe to my Patreon, because starting next week I will have a series of videos for my Yu-Gi-Oh 101 masterclass that you can only view on my Patreon, teaching you every single thing you need to know and understand about Yu-Gi-Oh as well as yourself, because you is not Yu-Gi-Oh without you. It literally starts off saying you. To spell Yu-Gi-Oh, it starts off Y-U, meaning it starts off with you. Everything that you need to know and understand about you in order to play Yu-Gi-Oh, you are going to learn. I'm just scrolling through all the destruction cards, guys, so you guys can see and understand what you should be utilizing and playing, since you won't have access to like Harpy's Feather Duster and Raigeki. Other destruction cards, you are supposed to have multiple oats in your deck to whatever your opponent is going to be playing in this format. Not all of them destroy, it just they have destroying their attacks, and I just limited the search down. So not all of these cards actually do destroy, they just have destroy in their text. But for the most part, you should be playing multiple destruction cards. Like my opponent opened up with Summoning Curse, which is an excellent floodgate that I recommended from years back. And like I said, knowing that they're going to be playing a more heavy trap base deck, you want to have oats to the back row, as well as if it's a floodgate, it automatically covers floodgates as well. That's why having the oats are so important. Harpies would actually be sensible. Looking for any more destroy cards that you guys can use. Burning Land is legal? Oh boy. Oh boy. Wow. I don't know how to feel about that. Everyone knows MST already. And then the regular twisters where you could destroy a face-up spell or trap on the field. I think it's this one. But you need an Exceed monster with no Exceed material. You want your effects to be as live as humanly possible, meaning without a condition, or ensuring that that condition can be met so you can immediately activate your card. Alright, that looks like that's going to be all for the destroy cards. So far the deck is literally 2-0, but like I explained to someone who asked me, they was like, how consistent is that Ultimate Falcon Turbo? And like I explained to them, that it's not like, I see a lot of duelists still doing this. Oh, this deck went 10-0, or this deck went undefeated 20-0. What I always state to players is that you have to look at what it went 10-0 or 20-0 against. If it went 10-0 or 20-0 against a matchup that does not favor it, that is a really good deck. If it went 10 or 20-0 against the meta, that is a really good deck. But if that deck went 10-0 or 20-0 against matchups that it's supposed to win, that does not justify anything. That deck is supposed to win those matchups. It is supposed to. So you can't say that the deck is good simply because it went 10 or 20, because let's say you're playing a ritual based deck where you have to special summon and your opponent is playing like a barrier stun, right? If you play 20 different versions of barrier stun with different mixture of cards, does that mean your ritual deck is ineffective? No. All it is that you're playing a matchup you're supposed to lose. If you played any other matchup that's not going to restrict your special summoning and you can outplay the meta, that means just that one deck out of 20 or 40 or 50 decks, just that one deck is that deck's Achilles heel. That's all that means. The first time would be destroy a value card effect. Wow, I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't. I'm negating that. Yeah. It's just that one deck is its Achilles heel. That's basically it. But you can take or tank every other deck or outplay every other deck, whether it's meta or any other matchup. That right there is how I rate decks. It's not what the deck goes, if a deck goes 10 or 20 or 50 because you have to look at the matchup. That's the main important thing. What is it matching up against? And then you rate a deck for how effective it is in a matchup or against the matchup of the decks that are heavily being played and the decks that are considered meta. If the deck can effectively play against those, that makes it a really good deck. Because the matchups are going to be what's heavily played. So if your opponents are heavily playing, let's say 3 or 4 decks, that's all you're ever going to match up with, if that's the meta. If it can effectively take out the meta, that makes it a good deck. Or compete against the meta, that's what makes it a good deck. Or any deck that's rated to be up there in terms of tier, that's a good deck if your deck can have outs or outplay those decks. Now, if your opponent is playing something really cheesy or something that's specifically for what your deck does, that does not mean that your deck isn't efficient. Or if you play 17 different versions of your Achilles heel or that deck's weakness means that your deck is not good. No, that it's not that. That is how I rate decks, by how effective it is against the meta and all the other decks that are running out there that are actually rated in terms of their tier. That is how you rate decks, not by its win streak. That's garbage. You used to rate decks by win streak back when Yu-Gi-Oh was Yu-Gi-Oh. Like when the game pace was slower, we rated decks like that. Now I no longer rate decks like that. You have people who still rate decks like that and say the unstoppable or the unbeatable. Look at what the decks are matching up against. Just if they can outplay them, like it's nothing. But when you have, alright, the deck has to now match up against numerous different things like different burn strategies and stuff like that, that's right there is when you're gonna find out what that deck is truly made out of. What does this do? Ritual summon Megalith monsters, just a power up on this one. During the main phase, quick, you could ritual summon from your hand or deck by tributing. Oh, okay, quick effect. Let's see if we can get around that. And there's the Forbidden Chalice that I told you people would be playing, because you do want to negate the opponent's monster effects. So you always make sure you have a contingency. Let's go here, see what we get. Ah, dang. We do have that in there. Now he's gonna ritual. Let's see what he brings. Oh, wow. Not bad. Alright, we can live with that. Set 2. Alright, his move. Let's see how far he gets. This guy do? Oh, I wonder if he. Let's see what he does before I jump to conclusions. I wonder what the rarity on that one is. Yeah, you wouldn't believe I had evil twins on my mind on my way from work. I was like, I really could see why they play evil twins. Even though it's not my thing, I can understand why they play them. What's he doing now? All monsters or ritual summon? This guy's just draw one card, then discard one card. Quick effect, ritual summon. Yeah, it really is. It really is. But if your opponent extends past your 2 or 3 disruptions, then you're screwed. That's why I said you should always build decks for the extension game to keep extending, so that you can just play through the disruptions and not have to rely on card stuff to like Call by the Grave and Crossout Designator. Like, just play through the disruptions. If your extensions, if you don't pick up your extender to play through the disruption, then you usually pick up the card that negates the disruption. So you go either or. That's how you not lose in Yu-Gi-Oh! Play for the extension, keep extending, they disrupt, extend again. You guys have seen it in my Raid Raptor duels where my opponent negs, they do something annoying and then something else, and then I just keep playing through it. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! So you know, anything is therefore possible. $18. That's why I said this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Therefore, anything is possible. Yeah, but Shimmy, everybody doesn't have sense. see, 16. Be in excellent shape then. Now we need to get that off board. Oh, another one. Wow. Oh, so he could pop any two. Oh, three. Wow, that is crazy. Let's go punishment. Which one is more annoying? Oh, okay. Let's get rid of that. That's what you're supposed to do. If you see something, try it. You won't know if it'll work until you do. I think I ran into Dream Mirror once. I mean, I guess because I was playing my Raptors, it really wasn't an impressive showing by them. Got a face down, you got that, buddy. Let's fix that. That's this ritual power up. Shoot me, I don't even know what to say. I guess that's what the guy thought. Alright, not so much this deck. I actually want to try those Time Lords out, see how they work. Then we're going to go back to Danger Darkora. I actually wanted to see how the DDDs do. Let's go here. I guess they find that to be helpful, so they attach the word assistant to it. Oh crap, I could just go with my thing now. Generate that. Bang. I saw something but Nemesis, but I didn't get that far whatsoever. There's a lot of archetypes that I haven't actually been able to get into yet, so. Oh boy. What? FA? Wow. It's gonna be interesting. Alright. Okay, I guess this one then. Yeah, that Colossus. Oh wow, that was good. That Colossus is troublesome. It doesn't even allow you to add cards from the deck to the hand, or at least your opponent. I'm really only playing this event for the crystals. Those, I don't know, those tags or whatever they call them. I ain't feeling them. Alright, I'd love to check it out then. Okay, that's only the slower. Oh wow, that hurt. Oh wow, that hurt. That's the same thing I was saying about how people rate decks now. Like they'll be like, this deck goes undefeated 10-0, 20-0, and it's like, yeah, but what's the matchup really like? Like, are you dueling against duels you're supposed to win, or are you dueling against duels you shouldn't win? I highly rate decks against the matchups that they shouldn't win. If your deck can win under the conditions it shouldn't, that is a really good deck. That is a really good deck. But if you duel in duels that you're supposed to win, like it's like nonchalant, and then it's how the only other thing other than that is how effective it is against the meta. Or that Forbidden Chalice, oh boy, that screwed me up. I think we can go back to dangers. But yeah, like how effective it is against the meta and the other decks that are actually running around. I wonder if I should only play one. This. Oh, I also was okay. I need the card. This and this for the dog these. 2 these, not one. Reset that search. Let's go here. Wow, I didn't book back guided treasure. That's crazy. Exactly. It's about the extension game. Like you have to rate the deck on how well it can play through what the meta is doing. Drytrons, that's meta. If you can play and get past their negations or out their board and win, and you can not only do that to Drytrons but do that to Sky Strikers and what's the next one called? Invoke Dogmatica, and another meta deck that's supposed to be on top or top tier to be playing. If you can do it to like 4 of those decks, you have a really good deck. But if you look at, alright, because your deck heavily focused on mainly special summoning or special summoning monsters of certain levels, if your opponent is playing a deck that specifically counters that, you are expected to lose that duel. But any other deck you match up with, you're most likely going to win that duel. That right there is how I rate decks, because you have to look at the matchup and not the number of duels it wins, but the matchup it is having and what it's playing against to say yes, it can get a win against Invoke Shaddolls and Sky Strikers and Trytrons and Tri Brigade and another meta deck. You look at that, that is a really good deck, because you're looking at, hey, if I match up against any of those 5, I'm most likely gonna win, and that's those 5 are what's gonna most likely be played. That's what you want to prepare for. If your opponent is just playing specifically to counter your deck, right, the chances are, before you even end up in a matchup with them to be able just to specifically counter your deck, they're gonna have to get through those other players of Invoke Shaddoll, Dogmatica, and Sky Strikers, and once they beat that deck out, it's irrelevant because you're looking to play against those really good decks. So those decks that are only specific to your deck, you usually, now if you like round 1 end up running into them, then that's just luck of the draw. But usually they have to play through the same format you are. And if their deck only works specifically to beat your deck or has the advantage to beat your deck, it brings their win-loss ratio or what they're supposed to go. Let's say it's 5 duels and it's those 4 meta decks. They're looking to go 1 and 4 if they run into you. If not, then they go, then they just basically get beat out. You don't even have to worry about seeing them in the finals. See, that's the thing. I always tell players you have to create a balance with your deck. You need your combo pieces to go first, as well as you need cards when you're forced to go second. I rather have my cards for going second in my deck and not draw it than to not have it at all. That means I never stood a fighting chance. That's my thing. Guided Treasure. Wow, that's actually legal? Yeah, most just play 3 Ash, 3 Maxi, but you want to play more than that. Basically, why they only play that is so that they can use Ash to turn off Maxi, and if their opponent doesn't have a Maxi to turn off their, I mean, have an Ash to turn off their Maxi, then they go plus. That's basically why it's just 3 Maxi, 3 Maxi and 3 Ash. Where is Guided Treasure? I'll just play 1 copy of that for now. What should I incorporate? Oh, I forgot what I even added in. Let's go to bookmark. I don't think I played Shot of Greed. Exactly. I prefer that as well. Depending on the hand traps, because you have to remember now, you basically implement hand traps in your deck based off of the matchups you expect to encounter, as well as to counteract your deck's weakness. Because when I put in hand traps, I put in hand traps for one main purpose. And it might sound a bit strange, but you would understand it in the long run as you duel. Call by the Grave. If my opponent has a Call by the Grave and they call by the Grave my Moxie or my Ash, that turns it off for my following turn. So when I activate it during their turn, I am guaranteed my opponent cannot Ash me, my opponent cannot Moxie me if they hit Call by the Grave on mine, which means I can combo off freely. That's the main reason why I play Ash 3 copies, Moxie 3 copies, because I want my opponent to Call by the Grave it. So during my turn when I go off, if they have theirs in hand, they turn theirs off as well, which is like a double neg. It's a double-edged sword. So you want to be careful how you play your Call by the Grave, because your opponent go Moxie, you Call by the Grave to say, hey, I want to go off. If you cannot kill your opponent that turn, you are most likely guaranteed off of the multiple special summons you're going to create. If you cannot neg your opponent's entire field, secondly, you are going to set yourself up for a loss, and that's what you don't want. Replacement cards. Wow, I honestly don't even remember what I placed in, because I know I had Old Mind in, but I cut that. I cut Old Mind that. What the hell else I was playing in this deck? I was playing 2 copies of Guarded Treasure. Let's add art back in that second copy then. Sometimes it can hurt, but hey. Nah, I ain't feeling the breakthrough skill. I don't feel that's gonna be necessarily relevant to this deck. But I mainly want the Guarded Treasure so I can send like the dangers to the grave, and then every single time I draw, I'll be drawing 2 instead of 1, so it puts me right back in the duel after 2 turns. And charge into Dark World. That's a really good revival card, I kid you not. I don't know if I should just put in another gold, but I know I was playing another spell. I can't remember what the hell I was playing. Did I put in Shard just for a draw 2? Because this is a send effect, not discard, so I know I wasn't playing this. I would not be playing that, and I'm not malleting anything. Wow, this is tough. I can't remember what I had my deck topped off with. What the hell did I place in here? How many dangers am I playing? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's see if there's anything else I can add for the danger, because I honestly can't remember. I'll have to probably go back, rewatch my stream to see. Nope, and there's no other danger I can add. Ban. I already have that in. What in the world did I had in? I am so dumbfounded. Oh, that's what I had in. I got it. It was the related cards. It was this guy for the special summon. That's what it was. Alright, I got it. Alright. Yep. Crossroad Designator is a really good card. That's why. Anyway, like I said, if you haven't already, become a Patreon next week. All my Patreons are gonna get all the love in the world. All. Didn't I say pendulum decks? The only thing is that Quillies can't search because their search card is actually sacred rare, so that hurts in that department. But you can get 1800 beat on board just like that really quick. Let's start off with a little bit of this because he has back row. Let's get rid of one of those. Oh, see that? Negate the monster effect. The same thing I called earlier in the stream. You can do this with Quillies. So he was hoping that I ran into his Quilly, could power it up, and then it could be like really massive on the board. Nonchalant about that, doesn't really matter. Let's pop another. Let's see if we can catch another. Oh wow. If it's a level 4, negate its effect. Wow, he made my attempts pointless. Let's do this. Arg, me mateys. Alright, that's gonna end my turn. He should power back down. There we go. Yeah, first you gotta get 2 on board to sacrifice. And then it has to remain face up on board. That's another thing. One more card still face down Dabna. But the thing is, you have to get 2 on board and it has to remain face up. If your opponent can out it before it can resolve, that's where the issue comes in. Nah, we'll give him one more turn. Alright. Good thing I waited that one out. Alright, first things first. Now we are going to want to send, because there's nothing in the grave, right? Only those 2. I'm going to send you, and we're going to send you. Oh yeah, that that gets real nasty in a heartbeat. No, because I still want that. I send that. Ooh, I should have sent him and regurgitated that. Doesn't matter. Oh, he's playing some true Draco stuff in there. Let's see. Okay, I would be able to send that. That will regurgitate him. Alright, let's try this. Alright, we need to get rid of this. Exposition. You. The other treasure. That. And send it out. Yes, on the dog man. Yep. Him back. Alright, set one. What do we have shining in here? Oh, okay, that's what that is. Alright, that ends my turn. Alright guys, this looks like I may be able to get one more duel, depending on how long this takes. If this takes too long, then this would be my last duel. What my opponent's doing. I'll activate target on 2 Draco special summon in defense against special summon monsters. Oh. Target one monster in the field, destroy it. Wow. Alright. Yes sir, Bob. Let's do you. And let's do you. No. Oh, that's only for the end. So Get rid of that. Listen. It depends on the situation. It really does. Because you would have to set the forbidden droplets if you want to activate it during your opponent's turn, whereas in Perm, you could activate it from now on once you control no cards. So it just depends. And then the deck you're playing. Because with droplets, you have to spend cards from your hand and field, so you want to make sure that you're playing a deck where the cards you don't need, you can send to the graveyard for its effect. Whereas with impermanence, it's just a one-shot card. Like, you play, there's no real restriction except for during your opponent's turn once you control no cards. So it just depends on the deck you're playing and the situation you're in. Alright, let's set that. Okay, that's what that is. Oh boy. Let's try this. That would have been a really good card. But you can't always rely on the equips though. Yeah, it looks like this is gonna be my last duel. Literally. Wow. Wow. know how to feel about that. Wow, that would be cutting it close. Alright, let's do this. Patrick really would. He really would. Well, that's good. That is not an easy deck to beat. They regurgitate so much. 5,000. does that put me? That puts me right here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But 16 more duels. But yeah, that's it until tomorrow, guys. So until next time, later.